Hello and welcome to the Autodromo Internacional Algarve here at Portimao, just outside the city of Portimao, here in Portugal for round 4 of the Ferrari Challenge. First action on track coming from the TropheoPirelli category of the Ferrari Challenge. And well, what a shot to go with straight away. That is the helmet camera of Sergei Chukhanov, who incidentally successful in Le Mans and successful in the TropheoPirelli as he now leads the championship table. There indeed is the calendar. We're on round 4 of 7 still to come. Hockenheim in Germany, Imola, and the world final in Mugello. But hey, let's bask in the sunshine here in the Algarve for this round here in Portimao, where the action will be every bit as hot as the weather, I feel sure, as the cars beginning to line up on the grid. Now, the Ferrari Challenge running a form of success ballast almost in terms of grid penalties for those that are being the most successful, which means the grid order is changed around for this race. We see going down the order Sergei Chukhanov and Giacomo Strata and Dario Carzo as well. We'll give you the grid in just a moment, but in the meantime, here is where we're at, Portimao, then the circuit location, and a welcome trip into the sunshine for many of these teams. There's Raffaele Giannoni we see there, and there indeed is Sergei Chukhanov leading the points. Successful in Le Mans, comes here high in confidence. There you can see the sectors of this 4.6 kilometre Portimao circuit, which is very undulating, lots of uphill and downhill sections and a couple of real testing hairpins as well, which during the course of qualifying and free practice has been very, very enjoyable to watch, as we see there the 4,400cc power plant that propels these 458s around the circuit. So the Ferrari Challenge split into 2 categories. The category that we're seeing first on track is the TropheoPirelli, as we look back there from Daniel Mancinelli's car. Alongside Daniel Mancinelli then is going to be Alexander Martin. His best qualifying sees him on P2 on the grid. Of course, he did take podium position, brilliant P2 at Le Mans, and this is his second season in the Ferrari Challenge, and he's really getting to grips with it. It's great to see. So Mancinelli from Martin, then Chukhanov, Giannoni, then it's going to be D'Amato, and a new recruit to the TropheoPirelli pack of drivers is Ezequiel Perez Companc, the nephew of Louis, the GT driver. So we look back once again from Mancinelli's car, the Motor Piacenza driver, looking to the hard-charging Ferrari Team Ukrainer car of Sergei Chukhanov. So I was just mentioning there Perez Companc then, who joins us racing for the Motor Piacenza team. We went on board momentarily with him. And here is Sergei Chukhanov then, who's wearing our helmet camera, so we'll see all his movements inside the cockpit, and it gives us a fabulous driver's eye perspective of what driving one of these 458 cars is like. So the young man then, I spoke to him just very briefly at lunch, Companc, and he was looking forward to this race. Qualified well, to be fair. Giacomo Strata, just see the back of the Forza Jack car there on the right-hand side of your screen. As the grid is formed and last-minute preparations are being made, there is our P2 sitter, Alex Martin, looking for some support. And a kiss from his wife soon-to-be. That's rather nice. Welcome to Alicia here to Portugal. So Giacomo Strata then. Final preparations being made to his car. You can see the Hublot safety car then parked up in front of the grid, ready to lead these cars away on their formation lap. Raffaele Giannoni is the next for us to see, P4 on the grid. Comfortable, belted up, ready to go. So Mancinelli, Martin, Chukhanov, Giannoni, then it's D'Amato, Perez Companc, Strata, Vezzoni, Hernandez. And Dario Carzo. So just some nice scenic shots then of the area that surrounds us here in the Algarve. And just looking down the grid, I think Oscar Hernandez is on track at the moment. Haven't seen whether he's starting from the pit lane or not. Here comes the grid then. Let's run through in full for you. Mancinelli pole alongside Alex Martin. Then it's Sergei Chukhanov, P3. Raphael Giannoni then alongside Chukhanov, occupying the P4 position of row 2 of the grid. Move through to the next rows then. Renata D'Amato, of course, the pairing with his son Daniel. It's Renata that's going to be out first, alongside his the newcomer then, Perez Companc then. Then it's Giacomo Strata, P7, with Alessandro Vezzoni, P8. Then it should be Oscar Hernandez and Dario Carzo, but my eagle-eyed producer Nico saying that we can't see Oscar Hernandez on the circuit at the moment, which means Dario Carzo out there a little bit on his own. So let's take a look at this Portimao circuit then in the capable hands of Alex Martin, who'll give us a high-speed lap right now.
Hi, my name's Alex Martin, driver number 9 in the Ferrari Challenge. We're at Portimao and this is my lap. So it's a really fast straight in 7th gear and then a hard brake down into 4th. For the first corner. It's really bumpy, so short shifting back up to 5th and just trying to keep the power down, and then a nice big brake, holding a tight line, keeping to the right to get a good run out of the next corner. It's an important corner because it's onto the next straight, where we'll be accelerating all the way up to 6th gear and then holding 6th, and then we have a massive braking zone, very bumpy, down into 2nd. Holding the apex nice and tight, getting the power down, using all the track, up into 5th gear, still flat, keeping the power on, and then a short brake, down 1 gear, keeping as much momentum as possible, and then we're in 3rd gear, up over a blind apex, and then before we go back downhill, accelerating up into 5th gear, and trying to keep as much power on as possible. Braking zone there is blind, so you can't see where the corner is when you're approaching it, but just try and carry as much momentum as possible. Accelerating back up to 5th gear, and then once again hard on the brakes into 3rd, holding the car tight and then letting it run out, use all of the track, and then up into 4th and then quickly back down into 3rd, let the car drift out in the middle of the corner, return into the apex, and then accelerating out. And then this is the final corner, which is a really difficult corner. The car goes very light and it's very bumpy, but just trying to keep as much speed as possible, and accelerating 6th on the apex.
So thanks very much to Alex Martin then giving us a driver's lap around the Portimao circuit here, the 4.6 kilometer circuit. There's various variations. There are different variations of this circuit. Be pleased to hear that the variation that we're using is the FIA fast version. Sounds good to me, and doubtless does to you as well. Okay, the safety car then, the Hublot safety car will lead the cars away on their formation lap. And as the graphics indicate, race one is about to get underway then. The front row of the grid, it's going to be Mancinelli and Martin, then it's Chuganov, Giannoni, D'Amato and Compank, then it's Strata and Vezzoni. On board with Mancinelli then, heading downhill section after turn one. And my eagle-eyed producer alongside then, just waiting to see all the cars come through, indicating to me that Dario Carzo is out on his own at the back of the pack, and Oscar Hernandez is missing. Absolutely right. See Dario Carzo, but we see no car number 69. So on board with Ezequiel Perez Compank. Certainly got the revs up in that car as he warms everything up. 30-minute race. Sergei Chuganov then wearing the helmet camera for us around the hairpin that is turn 5. Just running through all the gears there in the Team Ukraina car. The awesome black and chrome wrap of the Dextra car of Alex Martin we just saw going through. And that, of course, the Hublot safety car leading them away on formation. So assuming then that the race steward is happy with the cars and the way that they will form up, then he will let them go and the race will be on. Dario Carzo then, who's been something of a revelation this season, is going to be right at the back of the pack and is going to be looking to go forward from his lowly grid position, brought about by the success that he's had in earlier races. All the drivers run the risk of achieve well, means that you take a grid drop for the next race. So Dario Carzo right at the back of the pack now. Oscar Hernandez missing, certainly had no pit lane shots to indicate that he's starting from the pit lane. He is showing on our timing screen, which would indicate a transponder is fitted to the car, but for whatever reason, actually not showing on screen. So safety car then will peel away, providing happy with the way the cars are forming into grid. See Alex Martin bringing himself right into line alongside Mancinelli. And they're the TropheoPirelli grid of Ferrari 458's Giacomo Strata and Dario Carzo bringing up the rear and seems to be in no hurry at all to get on the back of the pack. Okay, I would say that lineup looks pretty good, to be honest with you. Mancinelli is going to be very, very quick away from the start. Alex Martin's going to try and get the jump on him. We bring the lights up in screen for you. And the lights go green, and Mancinelli gets a superb start. So too does Sergei Chuganov. Alex Martin, though, out drag to turn 1. Willie Giannoni's in there as well. So Alex goes the long way round. Chuganov takes a little bit of curb, trying to get alongside, but it is P1 for Mancinelli, P2 for Alex Martin, then is Sergei Chuganov, then Raphael Giannoni. So a race away and underway then for the TropheoPirelli cars here in the Ferrari Challenge, and Alex Martin sticking right with Daniel Mancinelli like glue. Giacomo Strata down there in P6 at the moment. So there's the opening lap of this 30-minute race from the Ferrari Challenge. There's Alessandro Vezzoni, we saw on screen just momentarily, and Chuganov goes for a challenge now on Alex Martin. As they head down this downhill section, Chuganov really is right with him. Alex will metaphorically stick his elbows out and try and make that car as wide as possible, but Chuganov looking very, very aggressive early doors in this race. We are on the opening lap, remember. Mancinelli leads. Alex Martin is in P2, then it is Sergei Chuganov. On board looking backwards from Mancinelli's car. Hear him through the gearbox. And Alex Martin definitely under some pressure from from Chukanoff. Here we see Dario Carzo on an absolute flyer. And still, Alex Martin. Oh! And there's contact between Martin and Mancinelli. That has let Chukanoff go through. Well, I know we're going to see that again in replay. Now, the big question will be, did Mancinelli come across the front of Alex, or was Alex too ambitious? From that angle, it was a job to tell, but what it does mean is that both Alex and Mancinelli go back, and Chukanoff goes forward. So here is our new race leader, Sergei Chukanoff. Mancinelli. Well, that was like an absolute gift to Sergei Chukanoff. The squabbling between Alex Martin and Mancinelli. Just played into the hands of our P3 driver, Sergei Chukanoff, also the winner at the Le Mans round of the Ferrari Challenge. He's now leading this race. Thankfully, neither Alex nor Daniel were taken out in that little skirmish there. It was a job to see exactly what happened. Here it is again, and from that angle, it is difficult to ascertain. It might be better from here. Alex is alongside, and then does Mancinelli cut across him. 6 of one, half a dozen of the other, I would say. Thankfully, I'm not a race steward. So then it is Chukanoff, Martin, Mancinelli, the 1, 2, 3. And then further down the order, Renato D'Amato is P4, Giacomo Strata P5, Dario Carzo hounding up the grid and is into P6 already. Then it's Bezzoni, our newcomer. Ezequiel Perez Companc is P8. Then it's Giannoni, and Giannoni is in the pit lane. So whether there's a problem for Giannoni, let's take a look here. Is it a puncture? Yes, it is. So Giannoni with a puncture into the pit lane. That'll get changed, and hopefully he'll be back out again. So whilst that's going on, it looks like Mancinelli has got past Alex Martin. Hopefully we'll get a replay of that overtake manoeuvre and see how that played out. But Mancinelli now in P2, Alex Martin P3. So here the team at work then on the Giannoni car. Now, I don't know whether there's a reason why the jack has not been able to lift that car, but it was certainly on the ground. Our air jack's certainly working now. Sergei Chukanoff then, what have we got? So they've crossed the line. Both cars 9 and 32 being shown the black and white flag for driving standards. That's Sergei Chukanoff and Alex Martin. So Chukanoff has got just over a second's advantage over the second place driver Mancinelli, and then very nearly 9/10 between Mancinelli and Alex Martin in P3. We watch the LED Extra car of Alex Martin, then the black and chrome wrap effect on that car. There's our P2 driver, Danny Mancinelli, then. He's gaining on Chukanoff now. 23 minutes remain in this opening race of the Ferrari Challenge here at the Algarve circuit. Chukanoff from Mancinelli from Martin. And both of those cars are pulling away. from Alex Martin in P3. And Sergei Chukhanov then on a real high following his success at Le Mans. And there you can see the gaps over the last 3 laps here between Chukhanov and Mancinelli. Giannoni is still being shown as in the pits at the moment, and Mancinelli really is reeling Chukhanov in now. So we've already seen the blue and white flags being shown to Sergei Chukhanov and Alex Martin. And in qualifying, we saw that transgressions and track limits were being penalised very heavily. I sat in the driver's briefing earlier this week, where it was reinforced that 2 wheels over a white line will be acceptable. Anything more than that won't be, and they'll be ruled with a rod of iron, as Daniel Mancinelli then sets the fastest lap in this race, a 1:50.973. On board with Sergei Chukhanov, then our race leader, the helmet camera that he wears with some pride. Heavy braking through the gearbox, kisses the apex, runs over the curbs, and again, you can hear the brakes squeal under protest as they hammer these 458s around this Portimao circuit. And Chukhanov then wise to the fact that Mancinelli was reeling him in. Last lap around, it brought the time down to 7/10 between them. Rather think that Chukhanov has turned the wick up a little bit now. We'll see next time across the start-finish line what the gap is. There is Alex Martin down there in P3. Now some 2.6 seconds away from the race leader. Dario Carzo getting a little bit sideways onto the curb there, but what an absolutely remarkable race Dario Carzo is driving when you consider that he started right on the back of the grid. And now through into 4th place. Absolutely remarkable driving from Dario Carzo, who is on a mission. I saw at lunchtime he was having quite a lot of, he speaks not a word of English, only speaks Italian, but was with the series director of the Ferrari Challenge and seemed to be having quite heated conversations. So he's gone into this race with more aggression than ever before, and it seems to be paying off for him. As there he is in P4. The likeable Dario Carzo, right from the back of the pack. So there is Dario Carzo, P4. Just behind him is Renato D'Amato. The car for race 2 tomorrow will be taken over by his son Daniel, who I also spoke to earlier on and was feeling quite confident here at the Algarve circuit. Giacomo Strata, P6 in that Forza Jack car, and behind Strata is Vezzoni, and then our newcomer that we see right in screen right now is Ezequiel Perez Companc. There he is. Battle for P7 and P8 between Vezzoni and Ezequiel. And there, the Hublot timing there, giving you the difference in times between those two over the last few laps. So, masterful drive from Dario Carzo. Let's go on board with Ezequiel Perez Companc, then driving for the Motor Piacenza team, as he has Vezzoni in his sights, and he goes for a pass down the home straight. First turn, downhill right-hander. Is he going to be able to scrub off the speed and take the turn? Yes, he does it well. And that relegates Vezzoni down to P8. So great to see that overtake happen. Meantime, at the front of the pack, Mancinelli is keeping Chukhanov keen. Really wide line there. It's the battle for 7th position that we're watching. There across the graphics at the top of your screen is the order as it is currently. And it looks to me as if the newcomer, Ezequiel Perez Companc, has definitely got the measure of Vezzoni, as now Mancinelli is turning the wick up on Sergei Chukhanov. Last time around there was 7/10 between them. Looks to me visually as if that gap may have come down a little bit. Down the downhill section here. Both running wide, got to be careful about the track limits rules. And yes, it's down to just 4/10 now. So Mancinelli is on a charge here. Remember, Mancinelli started from pole position. The man that leads the race started from P3. Then a skirmish between Mancinelli and Alex Martin allowed Sergei Chukhanov to get into the lead. Dario Carzo, who's in P4, being shown the track limits flag. So Dario Carzo going to have to keep an eye on things to make sure that he doesn't fall foul of the race stewards here at Portimao. So we're approaching half distance of this race, half distance. And it is this man that's leading, the yellow and blue Ferrari Team Ukraine car of Sergei Chukhanov. Then the green and white machine of Danny Mancinelli then in P2. So there, confirmation that Dario Carzo, the man you see filling your screen right now, has been told he must respect the track limits. I can imagine what Dario Carzo is thinking to himself as he continues his charge up the pack. He's done really, really well so far. I'm the first to admit that over many, many commentaries, I perhaps have been critical of some of Dario's on-track excursions, but hey, he's got it all together right now. Let's go on board with Sergei Chukhanov. So, just I momentarily lose any form of signal into my headphones. Not that there was much to begin with. A deft tap on the side appears to have worked for the moment. So we're on board with the helmet camera of Sergei Chukhanov, taking us for a high-speed lap around this fantastic circuit here in the sunshine on the Algarve. And Giacomo Strata now as Perez Companc is on a mission, isn't he, as he goes past Giacomo Strata. Strata comes back on the undercut and gets him. So perhaps the experience of Giacomo Strata playing into his hands. So Ezequiel Perez Companc. And still he's hounding Strata. And of course what this means is that Vezzoni has been able to get back on terms with this pack. So that's how Ezequiel went through. Then Giacomo Strata managed to get him on the undercut there, switched back and went through. And now Vezzoni is in the mix as well. We saw the overtake earlier on from Vezzoni. And here is a replay of that move on board. There is Companc, then there is Strata. And there we can see it again. So this race then It may not be a packed grid of cars, but by Jiminy, it is exciting. Continue to watch this between Giacomo Strata and Ezequiel Perez-Companc. Giacomo Strata elevated into the TropheoPirelli category of the Ferrari Challenge this year from the Copa Shell, where he was last year, as Companc hauls down the outside here. Giacomo Strata wise to that and using the middle of the circuit as they both dive into that turn one. Companc there just having to use a dab of brakes to avoid contact on the blue and white car right in front of him. And there is Alessandro Vezzoni. Great to sit back and listen from the onboard as these drivers work these cars down to this heavy braking section for turn 5, which is a hairpin, and then the uphill drag. Turn 6 is an almost flat little kink there as Companc really is hounding Giacomo Strata. Interestingly, Daniel Mancinelli, who's in second place and really charging against Chukhanov, has been told that he's got to observe the track limits as well. A lot of drivers that could fall foul of that. And now Vezzoni, see, Companc is right in the middle here. He's the hunter and also he's being hunted too. So he has to be very, very careful indeed. Oh, and Giacomo Strata. Well, Companc gets sideways just off the back of that, but both Vezzoni and Companc have gone through and Strata has lost 2. So our race being led by Sergei Chukhanov. And as they cross the line, let's see that again. Looked to me like it was just a mistake by Giacomo Strata. Just went into... No, maybe not. Maybe he was taking avoiding action from Vezzoni, who had a huge lunge and charge there. So where are we at? Chukhanov leads from Mancinelli and Martin, and still this battle rages here between Ezequiel Perez-Companc and Alessandro Vezzoni. Giacomo Strata has been chucked down the order. Now there will be an argument that Giacomo Strata had to take avoiding action because of the lunge that Vezzoni used as a charge. Well, we'll see if the stewards have got anything to say about that. Meantime, we've hardly seen anything of that man, Sergei Chukhanov, who's leading the race. Here is our P2 driver, that's Daniel Mancinelli. So the gap now between Chukhanov and Mancinelli is some 2.1 seconds. Unbelievably almost over Alex Martin. They have drawn some 10 seconds advantage. Alex is actually 13.5 seconds down on the race leader. Just wonder whether there was any slight damage to that car with the contact between himself and Mancinelli. Maybe so. And certainly Martin's lap time of 1:53.756 is of concern, given that Dario Carzo is lapping a 1:52.586, so he's clearly over a second quicker per lap than Alex Martin at the moment. So with 8.5 minutes remaining, and Dario Carzo 3 seconds behind, well, he's certainly going to be on the back of Alex Martin very, very soon. So there is Danny Mancinelli then, who is P2. He set the fastest lap on lap 4, a 1:59.73. Compare that to what he's lapping now, 1:53.027. There is Daniel Mancinelli. Just see Sergei Chukhanov going through at the bottom of your screen, leading this by a comfortable margin of 2.1 seconds. And Mancinelli with some damage at the back of the car. Now, I can't imagine how that's been caused unless it's a delayed reaction to the contact between himself and Alex Martin. Can't be, because that contact was at the front of the car. So what has caused that? Have we missed him going off the circuit somehow? Don't think so. So, well, that's interesting, and it's not going to help his charge, to be fair. If he can hold station in P2, he will do well with the whole of the back-end panel work of that car loose and flapping about. Here comes the live gap then between Chukhanov and Mancinelli. 2.24. Now let's see again. See in replay, we can see it beginning to flap about. I'm guessing it's just that part of it gets removed up the downhill section heading towards turn 5. And there you can see part of the debris laying on the circuit. Just hope nobody collects that. So across the top of your screen then comes the order the way it is currently, with just over 6 minutes remaining in this race. Chukhanov leading from Mancinelli, the guy that we're keeping our eyes on here. Then P3 it is Alex Martin, but Dario Carzo forever gaining on him. And before the close of this race, well, could Alex Martin's podium position be under threat? I rather think so from Dario Carzo. Well, at the moment, the flapping panel work at the back of Mancinelli's car seems like it's not going to eject any more bits. So clearly the car is not going to be running quite as he would like. So the panel work at the back will have an effect. He's holding on for dear life. Meantime, having a comfortable time of it out there at front at the moment is Sergei Chukhanov, who's going to be very, very happy with the opportunity that was gifted him almost between the battle of that man who's just gone through there, Alex Martin, and Daniel Mancinelli. Now this is the battle as we see Dario Carzo getting ever so sideways there, but he is hounding and pounding towards Alex Martin. Now Alex will know that he's approaching very, very fast. And again, he'll have to stick his elbows out as they go up the uphill section towards turn 6, and then the right-hander, which is turn 7, 3 laps left to run. Can Dario Carzo find himself from the very back of the grid on the podium? Well, there's one car that's in his way at the moment, and it's the black and silver machine ahead of him of Alex Martin. And Dario Carzo really is on a mission. He has been warned to observe the track limits. So let's take a look at the lap times here. Alex Martin, last one round was a 1:53.792. Again, Dario Carzo gets ever so wayward with his tail-happy car. But last time round, he did a 1:53.173. And you can see that he is visibly closing that gap now to Alex Martin. Is Alex going to be able to defend? From the hard-charging Italian that is Dario Carzo. So across the start-finish straight they go. Just 6/10 is all that separates them. The final podium position to come. Is it going to go the way of Italy or the way of Great Britain? I think this is going to be a real battle to the checkered flag between this man, Dario Carzo, who's currently P4, and the black and chrome machine of Alex Martin, P3. unquestionably, Alex has tell by the 17-second deficit he has to the race leader. He's certainly not being quick. And I wonder if that's as a result of the contact between himself and Danny Mancinelli. But Carso can sniff the opportunity of a podium and will do everything he can to get there. Carso currently second in the TropheoPirelli points chart as Compang and Vezzoni continue their battle for 6th position. Two fierce battles for us to keep our eyes on in the closing stages of this race. Just 2 minutes left to run. And Vezzoni is also on the back of Compang. I think Chukhanov, barring any mechanical failure, is safe. Mancinelli is not going to be able to catch him. Certainly not on the evidence of the last lap times, although he was marginally quicker. It was a 1:52.722 for Mancinelli and a 1:52.934 for Chukhanov. Now, what is a crucial question, of course, is who has got the most longevity from their tyres. The track is very, very hot. The air temperature high as well. It's a real test of attrition for these drivers. Dario Carso now ever closer to Alex Martin. What can he do about this? 1 minute left to run. We keep our eyes on Sergei Chukhanov. And here is Compang and Vezzoni, and Compang is going through, is he? Yes. Good move from the newcomer to the Ferrari Challenge. There's our P2 driver, Danny Mancinelli. Sergei Chukhanov, we go on board with his helmet camera. He took advantage of the scrap between Mancinelli and Martin. And Sergei Chukhanov then, around this circuit, of course, took victory at Le Mans. And one more lap to run for Sergei Chukhanov. This is the final lap. Andrei Kruglik looking on in the Team Ukraine garage. Really approachable bunch of people, but Mancinelli all of a sudden has found some tents from somewhere. Now, I would be very, very surprised if he's able to get on terms with Chukhanov over this. No, the gap is too great, unless Chukhanov makes a mistake. Not normally someone that suffers under pressure, to be honest. Around the hairpin they go. There's what's left of the back of Mancinelli's car, flapping about in the wind. I hope we're going to take just a look to see how we're at with Carso and Martin before we get to the checkered flag. Downhill goes Chukhanov, so too does Mancinelli, as yet another piece of Mancinelli's car flies into the air and rests itself on the circuit. There is Chukhanov, there is Mancinelli. Barring any problems for Chukhanov, I think he's got this one sealed. Mancinelli has certainly taken it to him over the last few laps, though. I think it's going to go the way of Team Ukraine once again. Victorious in Le Mans, and it looks like they're going to be victorious in the sunshine as well, with the checkered flag, and here comes Sergei Chukhanov to take the win. Mancinelli takes second place, but who is going to be third? Alex Martin's going to take a podium. Dario Carso is right with him, but just not close enough, surely, to be able to make that challenge. Alex has done enough to secure a podium here at Portimao. Sterling drive from Dario Carzo, though, to take 4th place. And the rest of the pack flying through. Great showing from Ezequiel Perez Compact then to take P6. Renato D'Amato P5, Vezzoni P7, and Strata. And we see Compact and Vezzoni there. So Compact takes P6, Vezzoni P7. Here is our winner, Sergei Chukhanov. What a race. Absolutely blistering from start to finish with action going on. Daniel Mancinelli with, well, 9/10 of his car left. Takes P2, and the helmet camera of Sergei Chukhanov, our race winner. Waves to the crowd. And no one will be happier than that Team Ukraine garage. That's for sure. And there the car of Daniel Mancinelli we saw, but there is Dario Carzo. Sterling effort from Dario Carzo to take P4 when you consider that he started right at the back of the pack. P3 driver Alex Martin. Hey, and there is Sergei. Complete with the helmet camera still on the side of his crash helmet.
Very fast.
Very fast. Young Daniel Mancinelli then. And here comes Alex Martin into part fermate as well. Right, let's run you through the highlights of what was an outstanding race. So here then, the Ferrari Challenge TropheoPirelli cars on track at the Algarve circuit just outside Portimao, and it was a real drag right at the start. Daniel Mancinelli, then Alex Martin behind. We go on board with Ezequiel Perez Compact to take a look at what it's like from a driver's eye perspective. Alex Martin goes for a charge on Mancinelli, and it goes horribly wrong. Mancinelli spins, Martin goes out wide, and that allows Sergei Chukhanov to take the lead. There it is again in replay from on board. So the order then early on, Chukhanov, Mancinelli and Alex Martin, that man there. This guy fought all the way through the race. Newcomer to the Ferrari Challenge, Ezequiel Perez Compact, and Dario Carzo right from the back of the pack had got some work to do. Giacomo Strata runs wide and loses 2 places. The lead with Sergei Chukhanov. On board with his helmet camera, and then bits started falling off. P2 car of Daniel Mancinelli. The Ukrainer team very happy to see Sergei Chukhanov doing so well and taking yet another checkered flag. Wow, what a race in the sunshine here. And Dario Carzo, what a charge for 4th. Here's the classification then. It's Sergei Chukhanov taking the win, and also the Coppa Giovanni title, trophy rather. Daniel Mancinelli, Alex Martin P3, P4 Dario Carzo, D'Amato 5th, Perez Compact 6th, Vezzoni 7th, then it's Strata, Giannoni, Hernandez. Let's go to the podium! So we can see backstage at the podium now then, and there is Alex Martin, the Dexter group across the back of the overalls there, talking to Daniel Mancinelli. Of course, those two came together, and you can see the size difference between those two. Alex quite tall, Daniel not. And there the Team Ukraine bunch, very, very happy with the way their driver, Sergei Chukhanov, has performed. And the lovely flag then as it flutters in the wind here in the Algarve, accompanied by the sunshine as well, and there the podium in all its glory, ready to receive our P1, 2 and 3 up there in just moments from now. Sergei Chukhanov then cementing his position right at the top of the table. No question about that. Great driving from Sergei Chukhanov, just took the opportunity to seize the chances that were gifted him. And you can hear the PA announcer here at Portimao bring the drivers out. There's Alex Martin then takes P3. Daniel Mancinelli then going to be P2. And Sergei Chukhanov then to the top step of the podium. And Team Ukraine, a representative there as well, as we pause now for the national anthem. Plays out with no support at the bottom of the flags as they were, the nation's flags as they were lifted above the podium. I thought they were going to flutter away, to be honest with you. So Alex Martin receives another podium trophy. Then it's going to be then it's going to be Daniel Mancinelli, Paolo Pinheiro then making the trophy presentations here. And let's make it to the winner right now, Sergei Chukhanov. Well done to Sergei Chukhanov. And Team Ukraine are, of course, receiving a trophy as well. Beautiful trophies for the Ferrari Challenge. And he also receives the Coppa Giovanni trophy. Young driver talent, that's what it is. And there you can see how those flags are fluttering above the podium. Look at that, they're going to take off shortly. Here comes the Pirelli trophy as well. Well, Chukhanov then, he's got a lot to carry, hasn't he?
Together, please, together.
Right, they're being pressed into order then for the photographs. They're the Ukraine team. And they're the victorious 1, 2, 3. Here comes the Champers then. Who's going to be first? Chukhanov wins that race as well. And Alex Martin not far behind. And Daniel Mancinelli then coming in a close third.
Hai capito com'è la situazione? Boh, meno male che l'hai capito. Dai ragazzi.
So they head off from the podium then. A memorable TropheoPirelli race. Lots of action in that.
Meno male.
And Sergei Chukhanov, the victor, of course, race 2 from TropheoPirelli to come tomorrow. And we've still got a Coppa Shell race to come today. And here we can see just some of the shots once again of this race as it unfolded. This man was actually quite impressive. The new recruit to the challenge, Ezequiel Perez Compact. Doesn't quite roll off the tongue, regrettably, but Sergei Chukhanov there and Daniel Mancinelli. And Giacomo Strata And Ezequiel had a battle for much of the race, it has to be said. Just wonder if there was a little bit of a side swipe there from Vezzoni, which caused Strata. There was just a hand signal there as well. Caused Strata to have to go off wide. And there we saw various bits coming off the back of Mancinelli's car. The under tray was the first to completely detach itself and come to rest upon the track. And then virtually the whole rear panel came away as well. Nothing of the sort for this man though, Sergei Chukhanov, who seemed very, very comfortable out there. And there you can see the damaged back panel on that car. So Ferrari Team Ukraine are victorious at the Le Mans round of the Ferrari Challenge, and Alex Martin was also on the podium at that Le Mans circuit and also on the podium here in Portimao. Let's go behind the podium now, and Alex Martin.
So with third place man Alex Martin. Alex, congratulations, but first of all, talk us through your view of that early accident.
It's one of those things, you know, he made a mistake coming out of the last corner and I saw an opportunity. He also broke a little bit early, but as he came off the brakes, he ran into the corner. I was still braking and just nowhere to go. As the overtaking car, it's normally my fault because I'm the one who with the car in front, so that would come down on me. But I'm a firm believer in it takes two to make an overtake, so you have to use your mirrors.
And finally, just tell us, did you realise quite how close Dario Casso was to you on those last laps?
I couldn't not. No, I had no ABS and no traction control, so it was a really difficult race for me. I think it broke a sensor early on, so I was struggling with drive and I was struggling with braking as well. So.
Okay, thanks very much, and we'll speak with second place man Daniel Mancinelli now.
Thank you.
Thank you, Alex. Daniel, first of all, we will speak in Italian, but fantastic race, but your view of the first accident?
Yeah, una bella gara. Purtroppo sono stato colpito da Martin al secondo giro e mi ha fatto quasi girare. Ho recuperato poi, ero sfilato terzo, ho recuperato poi una posizione su di lui. Ho provato ad andare a prendere Chukhanov, ma avevo la macchina danneggiata e non sono riuscito a attaccarlo per sorpassarlo perché ero molto più veloce. E peccato perché insomma era una bella chance di vincere la gara visto il passo che avevamo dopo le due pole ottenute appunto nelle due qualifiche, e mi dispiace appunto perché sono stato colpito e potevamo far molto meglio insomma.
Okay, and again for English viewers, please.
Was a race. It was a good race, but I was touched from Martin at the second lap when I was first, and I was spinning, and then I restart and I was third. I overtake him, but I couldn't have the pace. Then I was quicker, but I couldn't have a chance to pass Chukhanov because I had the car that was damaged, and so I had to finish the race second. And unfortunately, it would be a good race because I was very quick, and I did two pole position in the two qualifying. So we lost a good chance to win, to make more points, but we will see tomorrow.
Thank you very much, Daniel. We will speak now with Sergei Chukhanov. So our winner, Sergei, you must have thought all your wishes had come true when you saw the first accident.
Not actually. It doesn't help me really a lot because he drive all the race behind me, so it was really hard to keep the constant pace through all the race. It was also very hard up here. So, but we have some problems yesterday in the qualifying. Today the team changed some setup in the car, and the car was really good. So, thanks for the team. It was a good race.
And finally, just give us your views of this circuit here in Portimao.
Yeah, it's a very nice circuit. Uphill, downhill, many blind corners. It's very interesting to race here.
Okay, and very good luck for tomorrow. Thank you, Sergei.
Thank you. Thank you.
So thanks very much to Claire Fennell then, bringing us interviews with the 1, 2, 3 from the podium. And interesting to get Mancinelli's view and also Alex Martin's view on that coming together in pursuit of places. Of course, we see some more shots then of the action that unfolded in front of us in this, the TropheoPirelli category of the Ferrari Challenge. And also interesting to hear Sergei Chukhanov say that actually having Daniel Mancinelli behind him was always going to be a trouble to him for the rest of the race because he knew just how hard he would charge. Interesting. Okay, so race 1 is done for the TropheoPirelli category of cars. Race 2 to come tomorrow. Still to come, though, the Copa Shell category with a big grid of cars. That's going to be every bit as exciting, I feel sure. There we can see Daniel Mancinelli with some of the panel work coming off his car. Sergei Chukhanov then the race winner. And we're going to invite our P3 place, Alex Martin, into the commentary booth with us for the Copa Shell race a little bit later this afternoon. So we still see some more of those phenomenal shots from the first TropheoPirelli race and the first Ferrari Challenge action here at the Portimao circuit in the Algarve. And there is the LED extra driver Alex Martin. There is Daniel Mancinelli. Bit of a sideways movement there from Ezequiel Perez Companc then. And Vetsoni getting right alongside but not able to make it anything like stick. So as you can see, next race then, 16:15 GMT. It is going to be the Ferrari Challenge Copa Shell Race 1. Myself and Alex Martin in comms then as the champagne sprays from the podium here in Portimao. And the checkered flag waves on the race winner Sergei Chukhanov. Marshall seemed to enjoy it. Here's confirmation of the classification once again then. Chukhanov, Mancinelli, Martin, Carzo, D'Amato, Perez Companc, Vetsoni, Strata Giannoni and Hernandez didn't start. All the information at www.corsaclienti.ferrari.com. I urge you to check out that website and find out all the information, all the behind-the-scenes facts of the drivers as well that are involved in the Ferrari Challenge. So Chukhanov also taken the Coppa Giovanni trophy. You can see there the little green part in the middle of that graphic indicates that the Young Driver Award that's made for each of the races goes to our race winner as well. Here's the latest Drivers' Championship points then. Chukhanov then cements his position right at the top on 94 points. Then it's Dario Carso, then it's Mancinelli. Alex Martin up to P4. Cassay not here this weekend. Barron not here this weekend. So P's 5 and 6 in the points, not here. That means D'Amato's can take advantage of that. Stefano Guy also missing from this weekend, as too is Benedetto Marti, who's P10 in the points at the moment. So lots of opportunity for those drivers that have made the journey over here to the Algarve to take advantage of that situation as we take an interesting look at this circuit in the sunshine here in the Algarve. Well, it provided some supreme racing for TropheoPirelli category. The next race is the Copa Shell. That's at 16:15. Join us for that if you will. From me, for now, bye-bye.